All right, guys, let's wrap this up here. Metal Hammer. So I'm getting in the metal. The metal is increasing again in my spirit. Lincoln Park. Oh, they, I'm talking to Arkham Reporter. I'm probably one of the few guys that likes the rawest black metal, right? But I will always respect and actually always like new metal for many reasons. New metal, okay. Now, once again, new metal. It's like hair metal. It's like grunge. It's a journalist made term, But at the same time, there was the late '90s into the millennium, right? The new metal banner of these bands that were kind of mixing everything up, right? You talk about the term postmodern, postmodern. The new metal bands were doing that. All hip hop, electronics, industrial, hardcore, metal, goth, everything, man, everything. I keep mentioning the diversity you had, okay, and the songwriting chops, right? At the end of the day, you want good songwriting. You want stuff. I always thought there was a nice balance too with the new metal. As crazy as it got, you had like the soft part, you had the heavy part, you had the weird part, you had And I always this time frame. I always appreciate the bands from that time. So Linkin Park, right? I mean, dude, man, Hybrid Theory, dude, man, that album. And I'm not gonna lie, I never bought the album. I had a bootleg that I bought in Canal Street in Chinatown, man. And I listened to that thing for a long time. Um, yeah, that album, man, it just captured that time period. Every song goes into the next, and it's just like, yeah. And also, like I said, all the people that grew up in New York, I guess would you say the more, I don't know, the non-white people who were my friends, who were into hip hop, they liked this stuff. They liked AC/DC too, but they liked the new metal. So, and Linkin Park is like one of the, you could say, the top, the big four, right, of new metal. So I don't know. Rest in peace, Chester. Uh, Opeth, all right, Opeth. Okay, Blackwater Park, right? What an album. The death metal, but like melody, prog rock. It's the only album I ever had. Also Harvest, right? The album Harvest, where they pretty much go '70s rock, right? But Opeth. They had one of the coolest logos ever. There was like a little dragonfly in the O. Remember? So Converge. I remember I had "You Fail Me" by Converge. Right? I didn't have Jane Doe, but I remember seeing them in Camden at the Sounds of the Underground. What a great band, right? They were the Chaos. They call about Control of Chaos with this band, this hardcore band, of course, going to different extremes. But that one song they play, "You Fail Me," is like a slow kind of drony song. And you should have seen you had crazy mosh pits for them, and then when they started playing this song, everyone was just staring at them. Oh, all right. I guess the first two System of a Down albums, I love them. I love them. I mean, the idea of these Armenian guys being, anti-American at the time, criticizing U.S. politics. Oh, who the hell are you? Oh, wow. They're not radical enough for me, are they? But man, like I mean, yeah, Toxicity was the album that made them huge. Remember when 9/11 happened? They couldn't play. They stopped playing Chop Suey. They stopped playing Drowning Pools. Let the bodies hit the tss, tss, right. They stopped playing some of these songs on K Rock, which is the station in New York City. Yeah, but they were great, man. I mean, the first album, there's so many good songs on there, man. But like I said, only the two really. Afterwards they got a little big for their britches. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Mastodon. Remember the March of the Fire Ants. Yeah, fucking Mastodon. Now, of course, they went on to become Crack the Sky, man. What an album that was that came out later, of course. That was when they went like kind of like progressive. But Mastodon, man, they really. what a great band to come out of that like that new wave of American heavy metalcore era. Obviously, being nothing like that. So, um, and of course, the metalcore band, Killswitch Engage. Now, in hindsight, of course, My Last Serenade. This is with the old singer before they get what's his name? I forgot that guy's name, but the original singer here, Jesse Leach. Uh, I mean, Killswitch Engage was sort of like the metalcore standard, right? You had the chug riffs, you had the clean singing, you had the rah 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 rah, you had the hardcore, stuff. And it was always funny when you see a hardcore band. At this point, hardcore had been metal since like the mid '90s, but Killswitch is pretty good. So, of course, I don't know what else to say. I mean, Killswitch, they're sort of a snapshot of that time, but they're not really in the top thing of any of my stuff. So Evanescence, right? I remember this when this came out during the Iraq War. When the Iraq War started, actually, this song came out. So this is a big song. I can't think of any other song they had, but a lot of goth girls, a hot topic, man. They really like, what's this, goth fragility, something fresh to new metals, dick swinging party. Whoa, what's in your mind, DL? Yeah, anyway. No, Arch Enemy. Arch Enemy. I know the guy, the Michael Amott, who was in Carcass. I don't know. Arch Enemy I never thought they were that great, to be honest with you. With the Angela Gossau, and then they had the other chick, the anime-looking Canadian chick, become the singer. So, Avenged Sevenfold. I never dug them either. When they were more metalcore, they were sort of better, and then they became like the '80s metal. They became like an '80s metal kind of thing, right? With Awaken the Fall. I mean, this is right. This is when they're still like, playing breakdowns and stuff. One band that's not on this. There's a few bands I can mention real quick that aren't on this list. Life of Agony. Yeah, Life of Agony, man. Those first two albums. A band that should have been huge. 18 Visions. Yeah, that's right. I liked 18 Visions. The early stuff. The last album where they were like Def Leppard. 18 Visions was great, man. They sort of kind of in my opinion, invented like the modern metalcore stuff, but they get no accolades for that. So Nightwish, I mean, this is all power metal, like European stuff. I never was big here in America. Trivium, man, the first two albums, especially, but Hardest Things in the World. This was a really good, like a mix of metalcore, but like classic metal. Pull Harder, The Strings of Your Martyr. It was pretty good. There's like they had like arena rock hooks. You had the gang vocals. You had like almost like the crowd chants. Yeah, I like Trivium. The first two albums were pretty good. I don't know who these dudes are. A Bullet for My Valentine. Yeah, like I said, I never really dug them too much, but they were sort of in that like metalcore sphere. They're from Wales, right? And Dragon Force, all I know is I saw Dragon Force at Ozfest on Randall's Island, which is now a refugee haven, an asylum seeker haven for the oppressed people coming to America to replace and destroy us. But Dragon Force was great. These guys were pisses, man. They were funny, and like the whole Guitar Hero thing at the time was big. And the way they played, the speed these guys could play guitar, man. Everyone loved them. When I saw them at Ozfest, man, Dragon Force, everybody was fucking into them. Alright, I don't know who they are. Oh, Meshuggah. Meshuggah's over here. Now, Bleed, it's funny. Like, Bleed, this is already 2008. This almost seems like, was it polyrhythms? I mean, the playing on this. You want to talk about chug? Nobody out-chugged these dudes. You had, Catch 33. You had, Destroy, Erase, Improve. You had Nothing. Remember Nothing? And they only had seven. I think they only had like 7-string guitars for that. They re-recorded it with 8-string guitars. That's how gangster these Swedes were. So, and of course, they apparently there's a whole like there's a whole genre based on them. Another band not in here, which I can understand in some ways. the first Meshuggah band you had was like the Acacia Strain. Shout out to them. So, Devil's Blood. Those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Well, Winston Churchill, the villain of World War II. Well, I don't even know who they are. Watain, I never, you know what? You think I know this black metal? I never really got into them. Bring Me the Horizon. They were never big here in America. By the time they were popular in America, they were sort of like, an octane band, if you know what I mean. Shout out to the punk rock NBA. I like Fib McKitty. So he's like the Icy Mike of metal. Man, it's a lot of references there that are probably over your head, but the metalcore band, the best Anglosphere non-American metalcore band was a one album, well, not really one album band, but an album band with the singer, an Australian band, not Parkway Drive. I Killed the Prom Queen. We had a British vocalist who was just on the one album. I Killed the Prom Queen, having a cool ass name and a cool ass shirt, right? That was one of the best metalcore albums of that time, man. From this Australian band where the singer was for one album. So anyway, Wardruna, I don't know who these guys are. Oh, right. Oh, baby metal. I remember the first time I heard this song, like the music was so heavy, and then these little girls start singing like Pikachu. I don't know how to say it. They sound like little Pikachu, like little anime girls, like, but they look like little goth, things. So baby metal was great, man. I like this Cobra metal. I guess that's one of the girls. Maybe that's the main girl. I want people to associate Japan with metal. And when you think of Japan, you think of the black metal bands, right? Barbatos. What was that? Was it Sabbath? Psy. You think of course, the older bands, Loudness, Rock and Roll Crazy Nights, Easy O, remember? You think of that stuff. So Japan always had a metal thing. They always loved metal. I mean, the Japanese, man, you know me, I'm a weeaboo, so I'm with them. So, I don't know them. I keep hearing about Architects. I don't know them. So, let's go through. We got to end this list here. We're getting to 100 here. Ghost. Ghost, I think, is very overrated. Very overrated. Not impressed. The first album they had, I remember, it was like someone made a good, they're kind of like a mix of like King Diamond and like Blue Oyster Cult, right? But the album was okay. It was interesting. It was different, but I think very, very overrated. So, and I don't know, but at least they had that theatricality, right? That new metal had, that even like Marilyn Manson, all these people had. I don't know who these people are. I guess I should check them out. And this one, okay, we'll end it with 100. Sleep Token. I listened on YouTube. I listened to this band. I don't know if it's one guy or whatever. And apparently, it's just like it's every kind of metal, like metalcore breakdowns, new metal groove, clean screaming, and then like the clean singing, and supposedly like very there's like a sensual sort of thing. As you can see, there is a Garden of Eden motif here. And of course, the genius, the high IQ Corey Taylor. There are hints of early Slipknot there. Dude. I'm not. It was okay. It wasn't great. It was very, very overproduced. Oh, you're one of those. You're a production. Oh, you're a production cut. Yeah. So, anyway, let's round this out with the rest of this. This is a German band. I like this. The Flying the Flag for the LGBTQ community. Oh. Except the guy, ironically, the guy is straight. So it's interesting. It's like one of the comic characters in one of my stories. Gay club in Hamburg. It was funny too. The guy actually got fired because he was straight. So instead of saying, hey, these people are assholes, let me rebel against that, he didn't do that. Instead, he rebelled. Of course, as a good German must do, you must rebel against the Heimat, right? Oh, Eurovision. We love the Eurovision, don't we? Just prodding the right wing. Where are you? Oh, no, watch out for those AFD people. Watch out for them. But it's a right wing bubble. But like, you're traitors to your fatherland. How can you do that? Yeah, I'm sure. So, do you really want these fake men to represent a normal German citizen? If you think you are a German citizen, we don't want to represent you. The BBC wanted us to wave a German flag. We said we don't feel comfortable with that. That gay ass fucking 1848 flag with the gold. I hate that flag. Anyway, enough of them. Enough. What else to do? You know what? I'm gonna do a little addendum because there's something else in here I thought was interesting. So these fucking guys are still around. Apocalyptic. Anyway, addendum. But it's gonna be short. Don't worry. So, actually, they were pretty good. I like that. They played the cellos.